Nami, Commander, no good advice. Now we Nigeria grand fighters. You come outside today because it's something that make us come outside. And what make us come outside represent our state, River State. And this River State will be our state, so we're not going to live for anybody. Sim don't give us peace for River State. But some people say they don't want that peace. As you see us, so we get joy. No. As someone, we don't get joy. We didn't start creed before. But today, Sim say we can come outside, come make the state in order. But one person say no go agree. When he mean they disturb him? No. When he mean they worry him? No. He don't stand up as. None of Sim time. Now you know only allow Sim to rule the state in peace. So now they seize our location. If they don't release those money, that location no pay them. We, Nigerian grand fighters, we go vandalize every pipeline. Peace no good deal. Federal government should call Wike in order, or else they will hear from us.
Well, it became very necessary for me to address you, especially concerning recent happenings and the press statement of the immediate past governor of Rivers State and the present minister of the Federal Capital Territory. And that coupled or combined with the Mr. President's reply or reaction during the visit of elders of the Pandef. I recall very vividly, if Nigerian population has not forgotten, that I did grant an interview to AIT sometime November 2023, when Mr. President was to intervene in the crisis of Rivers State. And I did mention to them that I am not expecting anything positive. And today I still hold that view. I said so then, and I still maintain it now, because Mr. President and the present Minister of the Federal Capital Territory shares a lot of commonalities, both in attitude, in character, and in operation. They are both politically very rascally. They have an insatiability in terms of accumulation of wealth, and also have a non-limited ambition of manipulating and indeed controlling humans. But one thing they also share that is interesting, that both of them fears a lot. They all fear, they fear a lot. When once they are so confronted. Else, how will Mr. President say that Sim disobeyed the 8-point agenda, if not for these commonalities I have mentioned? I did mention it, I did reveal to Nigerians after the visit that I was there, that Mr. President said everything that Sim need to do as governor. And when Adoge Amesimaka asked the question, his reply tells us that he was already biased, that the invitation was to give us a smiling and polite insult. But one thing he said very clearly is that these 27 lawmakers have crossed the Red Sea and they can never come back. But the meeting started with condemnation of the governor. This is an insult to democracy. This is a disgrace to democracy. And these are exact words of the Supreme Court judges. So there's a link, and something is fundamentally wrong. That those 27 lawmakers that he also said have defected and cannot cross the Red Sea come back to say that they are no longer defecting. And Mr. President is clapping his hand for them. Those who, the commissioners that abandoned him, Sim, reappoints them and swear them in. Mr. President says Sim never respected the decision. Salaries were paid to the House of Assembly members at that time. Same has not responded. Same went and withdrew all the cases. Whereas behind it, I'm sure Mr. President encouraged the pro-Wike assembly members not to withdraw their cases. That is the case with which they are punishing Rivers State now. So who is fooling who? Who is fooling who? But let me say this. The governor has spoken, and to say that he will respect and comply with all the decisions of the Supreme Court, and he has started. That is saving Rivers State, that is saving Nigeria, because of his peaceful disposition. But for Wike to transcend from that political conflict and find himself now swimming in a very deep ocean of ethnic condemnation and ethnic threat is very unfortunate on his part. Let me say this, a lot of Nigerians do not know. What we say is that it's Jonathan and his wife, a job that made him president. It's a job that made him local government chairman. When he was first elected to be the candidate of the PDP, PDP National wrote to Rivers State that he's not their candidate. It's your son, Dr. Sam Jaja, I'm quoting him, that insisted that he will not take directive from the PDP National Headquarters, that the only people that can direct him is the state PDP. And that is how Wike contested and won local government chairman in his first tenure. It's an Johnson. So sometimes when people talk, I even laugh. He said he has helped the people. No, he was only trying to repay them for what they have done. They laid the foundation for him to be what he is. He was only trying to repay them. And that is his status. And that is one status that Mr. President and him also share. They don't forgive. They have the spirit of revengeance. We can never forget that experience. Then the last experience has to do with the issue of the presidential ambition he had, and he failed. So his vow is a revenge on PDP, and PDP will never know peace for that. And that is one attribute of Mr. President, so we must know this. But above all, I must say, and that will interest Nigerians, is the fact that Mr. President plays the politics of divide and rule. When he was governor of Lagos State, all the local government has two leaders at a particular time. So that way he controlled the reality of the two. He will appear to be working with him. He will appear to be working with. That is it. The current problem in Lagos State of Assembly exactly is his handwork. I know we know this in politics. It's divide and rule. It's time for him to divide loyalty of APC in Lagos so that at the end of the day, he's in control. Because he was aware that the governor of Lagos State, one way or the other, contributed to the fundraising of Atiku. So from that day, he declared him an enemy. We know this. We in PDP, we know this. And so it's time for him to say that this man cannot be 100% trusted and be loyal, so he's doing that. So what I'm saying in essence is that Mr. President has created a problem in Rivers State with his political tactics of divide and rule. Wike, as in his own turn, now dive himself to ethnic threat, ethnic harassment that can swallow him any day, anytime. And I said that because without a job, he will be nothing. And he cannot bite the finger that fed you. One sin that God never forget is that of ingratitude. Wike is an ungrateful person. He uses people and he dumps them. Sam Jaja made him a local government chairman. That is the springboard with which he is whatever today. Jonathan helped him to become governor. Governor. That is the springboard with which he is now working as a minister. Jonathan appointed him a minister for the first time as a German. That popularized him and gave him the spread in Nigeria. So for him to now say that these people are minorities of minority, they are useless, they cannot win election, I believe that he has 48 hours to rescind that. Else some of us will be forced, not minding the barriers and not minding the fact that some of us also have the DNA of being equated. We will be able to let him know. But Nigerians should know that the character, the personality that Wike has so far exhibited does not represent an average riversman. It doesn't even represent the people with the lowest quality of life. Nobody knows where he has brought it, and nobody should judge Rivers' sons and daughters because by virtue of the kind of character he has exhibited.
Okay, at this point, there is an issue that is very pertinent. The Supreme Court has ruled on the political issue reversed State. The government is expected to present the budget. It was there. Okay, there was first 48 hours or so, and then extended to 72 hours. And the governor went back yesterday after he said we are waiting and he saw the letter. But there is installments. Where do we go from there?
No, let me tell you this. I see a lot of us forget. Remember, my last briefing, I said Wike is a man who cannot survive where there is peace. He knows that the moment the House of Assembly members and the governor reconciles, that is the end of his domination. So he will do everything to scuffle it at every time and at all points. Remember, I said that. It actually doesn't matter who is approaching first at this point in time, if each of them has the interest of Rivers State at heart. But the governor, being the leader, has always negotiated and initiated it. He wrote to them for a meeting, they declined. In fact, there was a function in Government House that day, he stepped it down to receive them. They did not, but that did not discourage him. He decided to go to the House of Assembly to present the budget. It is one man. It's Wike. Because once they reconcile, that dominance will end. Let me tell you, once a man does not have shame, he can go any length. Anybody that has shame will hide his face when they confront you with a lot of things you said you will never do, and you are doing. A lot of things you commended, now you say it's bad. He was talking about Nnamdi as one of the best. Who is the best? Now he says Nnamdi is bad. He has already extended by saying that, go and ask. Diri came to beg me. One day he will tell you that Tinubu begged him. In fact, he started by saying that, go and ask, he didn't even give you one kobo. Of course, he's even wealthier than him, perhaps. So you are seeing somebody who lacks the character of shame, the quality of shame. That he will say one thing, and the next day they will confront you and say, this is what they said yesterday, today you are saying this thing. He doesn't murder. See how restless he is during the interview. Why is he furious? For those of them who this elementary psychology will tell you the situation, I'm not going to say it. Somebody who is very restless, even when discussing with pressmen, there's something fundamentally missing and wrong that Nigerians will soon find out. But I must say it, that nobody should judge any Rivers man based on his character and the character he has exhibited to the country. That is not us. That is not Rivers people.
Okay, sir. The House of Assembly members or lawmakers are worried that they are ready to ensure the funds seized is given back to Rivers State. But the approach of the governor is not in tandem with procedural things of relating the executive and the legislative arm. Yesterday, they said communication is two-way thing. The governor claimed that we saw evidence of the letter, but the speaker of the House of Assembly is denying that they are not in possession. So you are a leader that also work with the governor. Is it not nice or good for the governor to have waited for their response before going to? Because they say it's drama, the governor is acting. It's not wise for the governor to wait for them to get a response.
Let me tell you this. You see, that is what I'm saying. When once you have people, the welfare and the happiness of people you lead at heart, you must let go certain things. All right, the governor has made 2 attempts that is wrong. They should make their own that will be right. He has made an attempt inviting them to the government house. He said it's wrong approach. He has gone to the assembly. It's a drama. What attempt have they made to bring peace in the state? So we should think. His approach is always wrong. At least he's making an attempt. What have you done? Is it the 48 hours ultimatum for everything? Is he calling EFCC to begin to probe people? When we are forgetting that he who lives in glass house should not throw stone. Don't they have enough things to investigate? So this is the point I'm making. If my approach is wrong, come up with a recommendation or an approach that is going to look and sound decent and acceptable. You have not done.
Okay, before I let you go, sir, you are a product, or let's say you are a member of the restoration team, a political team that was high and mighty in River State some time ago, and it's been led by very respected former governor of River State, Peter Obi, the member of the restoration team. Just 2 days ago, the EFCC gave leave of course for the Supreme Court gave leave of court to EFCC to go and represent, to respond to issues about the standing order of the EFCC to investigate the government of the period delay and every other government that will follow suit. Is there a political undertone? Why is it coming?
Let me tell you this. You see, I have just said that he who lives in a glass house should not throw stone. I come up from, I am from area where they said he who tries to leak the bottom of a mortar may unconsciously go and dig old pepper. That's my answer.
Okay. All right, just one from yesterday during the media chat by the FCT minister. He described the Ijaw people as the minority of the minority, meaning that an Ijaw man cannot be a governor of any state in the Niger Delta region except Bayelsa State. And for River State, an Ijaw man is opportune today to be governor today because he unpicked, that individual. You're an Ijaw son, a leader at that. What is your response to that tantrum by former governor, now FCT minister at Ijaw people?
Well, let me just say, we need to correct a few things. Ijaw sons may not have been, in River State, may not have been elected governors. Not that they've not been governors. We've had military governors from Ijaw. I mean, being Principal is one. Major Briggs was another person. But we may not have had an elected. And that is very possible. For everybody that has been since, and again, let me say, again, we have had other judge. He's an Ijaw. So it's not possible. That's the point I'm saying. So you see, he lacks knowledge, historic knowledge. I've just mentioned 3 Ijaw sons that have been. 1 elected, 2 appointed. We may not have been now because we elected not to be. I've been a foundation member. As at the time Odili became governor, the just has every opportunity to manipulate it. We decided to say no. For there to be peace and harmony, let our upland brothers be. That's how Peter Odili became governor. And several photos, he said, anybody who sees a Calabari man, when we are done in his Thanksgiving, must say thank you to a Calabari man. He said it. So it's we that let it. The spirit will let it go. It's not the same spirit with which we are being treated and received now. But that's not a problem. Fortunately, there's an Ijaw son now. So we have had, I've just counted. We have just counted. 2 elected, 2 military. All right? And this now revolves along senatorial. At the end of the day, another adjustment will be. We are being sympathetic. Politics is not a game of isolation. Politics involve bridge building. Politics involve collaboration. Politics involve brotherhood. Politics involve love binding. What the just have been doing with the rest of the brother is love binding. And what they have done with us is love binding and bridge building. not because they can do without us, and not because we can do without them. So he lacks history. He lacks, political, historic knowledge. I've just mentioned two.
Let me finally, the threat to impeachment. Very recently there have been attempts, there have been actions that seem like they're paving the way for it to happen. Today, there was a call on the DSS to investigate the alleged age falsification of the chief judge. And that people have interpreted it to mean that they are paving the way for impeachment to happen. Brian Johnson, you're a supporter of the Muslim life, and you're worried about it. What is your opinion?
Yes, everybody will be concerned. But like I said, he who lives in glass house, let them not throw stones. Wike has page forgery case. Criminal cases are not easily buried though.